basically, when I started SHOPTHEHUnt 7 years ago, I had $48,000. I owned property. I was at the time running the School of Retailing at the University of Alberta. And I was one of Canada's like top retail consultants. So on paper, I should be a slam dunk when it came to funding. Like I had my own capital to put up, even to give, nobody would even give me like $50,000 to match my capital, even if I was willing to sign over my house. And I just thought that was crazy. And basically I had to come up with an entire funding model for my brand, which which is funded, to crowdfund every product I ever designed. And I did that for 7 years, and it made me a damn good designer because I knew I had to pre-order stuff.
Designing what people actually want to
I had to design, but it kept me in a box as a designer for sure. It kept me thinking about the numbers all the time. Like, so we have to sell this, we have to sell this. And although it made the company quite successful, that model, what I've learned is that there's just nothing for fashion. And I mentor a bunch of different designers, and there's nothing out there for anybody who's beyond schooling. Like, there's entrepreneurship programs like in school and things like that where you can get $5,000 here, $10,000 here. But it's a risky industry for lenders to get into because we're selling an actual product, you know. Tech is quite different. Yeah. Tech and agriculture gets all the money.
There's no AI. Yeah, we're not trendy.
Yeah. Well, and now actually, like, the benefits of AI, I still haven't discovered anything that's truly changing how people buy. Like, I'm always trying to see what people are doing for AI, but just nothing quite yet. So what this is you're the first recipient of our first little tiny fund, which is like $400, and I'm hoping that it grows. Yeah, I think it's fantastic, and I have a great group of supporters, and I just think, holy shit, we get to give this away every month now, and every month it's going to get bigger.
Every month, yeah, that's amazing.
All of it. So yeah, so I don't know, next month, and then it's going to go towards grants and scholarships, and I just kind of envision, like, what if there was 20,000 people supporting this fund? That's like $160,000 a month.
That's crazy. And that will change, like, that's huge for a company to get non-dilutive funding like that.
Yeah.
How are you going to find, what are the criteria for these designers?
I have no idea.
Okay. Very cool.
I have no idea. I feel like there shouldn't be. I feel like because the money isn't tied to anything political or government or anything like that, there doesn't have to be a reason. Really, I think it's just somebody who's got a good vision and passion for what they're doing, and maybe it could be somebody who just needs to have the application fee for a patent for something that they've designed. You know, it could be somebody who did pre-orders and just didn't quite hit the mark or something.
Right, needs to produce.
Right? Yeah, and I don't know, it could be, even so, when I was talking to another lender in Canada, they're basically like, they just want your house, they want your property, which a lot of young designers don't have property.
Right.
And I just thought there's just nothing out there. There's nothing for them there's no grants, there's no
for the creative industry in general, there's not much. Like, I've basically just used line of credit.
But you're also much more established in your life, right? So
sure,
which is great.
I have a
house.
Had a credit card for 100 years.
You have a PhD.
That too,
which is really cool.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Neuroscience.
See?
So I've written a lot of grants, and one of the problems I've had writing grants previously for my companies I've worked for, other companies, is that the project is like specific to what the government's looking for, and as opposed to funding something that's actually going to benefit your business, oftentimes you just like make up a project to fit into that box they're looking for to get funding, and it's actually not really benefiting the business. And it's hard to find grants that, like, you just have to jump through hoops to write these grants and then you just have this money, and you're just paying for something you don't really need just so you can get the money. Yeah.
Well, if you think about, like, scholarships can come in different forms, right? Like, scholarships can be actually something that you go to school with. But to me, using real money to try and solve problems or start brands, like, that's also education, right? So if you're like, I want to develop this product, it's going to cost $2,000, $1,000 for marketing, $50 for website. Okay, well, here's $5,000. that's also like giving somebody a scholarship.
Yeah.
Because
Or how much would an MBA cost? Because I feel like I'm just giving myself a very
Yeah.
expensive MBA right now.
well, that's why I've always looked at life as kind of like case studies, like expensive case studies.
Yeah.
Right? And that was exactly it. When I started the company, I had $50,000 from a consulting project that I had done. And I was like, look, I'm willing to lose this money. And that's
Totally.
why I started it. Because I was like, I'm willing to lose this. And, you know, same now, restarting the brand, we're using the same amount of money to see what else we can do. And I'm willing to see what happens, you know. Because it's just, again, trying to figure out what kind of things work. I love being able to help anybody else. You know, I loved being with the university and being able to do that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, like, I get people contacting me all the time who want to start brands. But like, if you're working full time and cost of living is so high and you can spend your evenings like talking about making samples and stuff, but you know the sampling process is grueling and expensive.
Yeah, and from the first, because I'm only launching now my second collection, and which is still very small, but even that I've learned so much, like from that whole process, and there's still so much to learn also. But the sampling process, yeah, it's very, very expensive, like just to make one style, let alone making the actual, you know, items to sell on top of that. It's crazy expensive.
And the amount of times, like even with your jacket, right? Like the amount of different times
Oh
you
my
have
God.
to.
It's crazy. That jacket took so much work to get that jacket, and then like the leather trench coat was like the first sample's perfect.
Yeah.
So you just like never know. Some things
That's
are really
happened.
easy, some things are really hard. Or like this
Yeah.
hoodie, this was like the first sample, and I just like love it. It's perfect. I think I changed the pockets,
Yeah.
and that's it. Like it was just like
You're like, it's perfect.
yeah. So you can get lucky,
Oh,
and I think it would be
yeah.
nice like for funding these companies with your new project, in addition to cash, is also just mentorship.
Yeah.
Would be really valuable. Like I'll take your mentorship.
Well, and that's where, you know, with the relaunch of my brand, I was very, and there's so much about that situation that, you know, you can't always talk about. I can't always talk about like all the back end of like what's going on, who owns what, who's, you know, but why the US, all that kind of stuff. But one of the stipulations was that I needed to be removed from it, and I will always wear the clothes and I will always support the brand, and it runs through my veins and my DNA. But running the company, I was so immersed in it, I had no time for anything else. And I would, you know, I always wanted to be able to help other people with the cheat codes, like any cheat codes that I could give. I don't like to gatekeep information. I was like,
cheat codes.
well,
Like
just
getting
like
a discount code. Or
like I've done all the hard work. I
You mean like Sims cheat code?
Yeah.
For life. Okay.
Yeah, like I can help someone not make the same mistake, or like
Right.
do something faster, or do something less expensive, or, you know, like for example, my younger brother is starting a shoe brand, and, you know, as he's talking to manufacturers, I can explain like, okay, this is how to talk to them.
Right. You've already made that mistake.
Yeah, I've already made the mistake, or I've
Yeah.
already like learned that in order to talk to a manufacturer in China, you need to cut out all the extra words that we use as Canadians, right?
Like very direct.
It's very direct. Like,
Sure.
please make shoe now, instead of like, what do you think the timeline would be for me to make the shoe? You know, we use all this
very
filler.
chatty.
Yeah, so we use all this filler language, and so there's just been so many things I've learned. Or like, don't take $250,000 from Shopify Capital and then sink it into your most expensive inventory. Like, I did that, and it was
What's Shopify Capital?
So Shopify Capital is like a lending company. Like, they'll lend you money.
Oh, you borrowed $250,000?
Twice.
I'm so stressed out about my $20,000 line of credit.
Oh my God, that's lovely. And that's what I love to tell people. I'm like, sometimes I'll have a conversation with someone and I'm like, how much are you in debt? And they're like 15,000. I'm like, that's nothing.
Well, yeah, I'm actually not. I'm actually good right now. So
No, it's
I have like
good,
nothing
but-
to worry about.
But that's the thing, is like, there's like,
You've no fear.
there are people who
That's-
fear their mortgage, and
Right.
here I am like borrowing your mortgage.
Totally.
Like,
Yeah.
borrowing $250,000.
But you do need. It costs money.
It costs money, and I'm
Yeah.
really good to spend money to make money.
And see, I'm really good at just spending money. I just like put it out there and it never comes back.
You know,
And
but like I said, it's your MBA,
I'm
right?
hoping it's just a really long boomerang. Like it's gonna come back to me.
Well, and I knew that I had to sell. I had in order to recover my money, I had to build a customer-centric brand that had really good basics, and I didn't want to fight for a new customer all the time, which is what brands end up doing. They're constantly running ads, fighting to find more customers,
Right.
where I just wanted to keep the same customer and keep them really happy and engaged, and that's what we built, which was amazing. But then we weren't getting
very successful.
we weren't getting any new customers though. We were spending so much of our time just like keeping our group engaged that we just weren't growing. We weren't growing in the right way. We were growing, but it was becoming unsustainable for our team to manage because our product promises and shipping and shipped everything so extravagantly, which is great, but it's not scalable.
Yeah. So you kind of went as far as you kind of could.
Yeah,
with what
I
you're
feel
doing.
well. I feel like it was so the brand was so centric to me. I was our photographer, our designer. I was like finance, supply chain. Like I haven't talked to one of our manufacturers in probably 2 months, and they're way happier because they have a team now that's like on it, right?
Yeah.
Like me, they'd be like, we need more shipping or more poly bags, and I would delay because I had so much other shit going on.
Right. It was just you.
Yeah, it was just me doing all of the money making decisions.
Yeah. But it's still like it's a new company, and that's what most new companies have to do.
You have to watch every dollar, and yeah, it's just crazy. And I think that somebody reached out the other day, one of my past students from the university, and his wife wants to start a brand. And I was like, this is great. I actually have time to like write down, these are the top 5 questions I think you should ask, be able to answer yourself before you start.
What are they?
What are they? I can look them up.
Do I pass? I wouldn't know.
I don't know. I should look them up.
You should, yeah,
I should pull them up because actually I've got computers right here. Because they're good questions, I think. Let's see.
So yeah, packaging is crazy expensive. Like it's wild.
It's
like
wild.
A custom boxes.
Oh yeah, and we started with we just used Canada Post mailers. I was selling out of the trunk of my car.
I like Uline boxes.
Uline boxes. We have I'm making shoe boxes, so I just went to the shoe store, found a box. Literally, the manufacturer's information was inside the box.
Yeah.
And then
just like found a box you liked.
And then now we're using that box. I think our team's having it priced out, but I hope that it's good. I don't know. Really, I'm just like
For your brother's company.
No, we're using shoe boxes for the U.S.
Oh, okay.
For our shoes, which we don't in Canada.
Like your nails.
Thank you. They are press-ons.
I love that.
Because I only use press-ons.
Mine, I haven't had a manicure in months, and I chew my cuticles with anxiety, so they're really cute.
Because you have a baby.
Wow, that's actually it was before
you don't
baby.
Like scratch your baby, probably. Okay. What are you hoping to make? You already know that. Clothes. To put on.
And accessories.
What potential fabrics?
Oh, what potential fabrics?
So I feel like you know that.
Oh, yeah.
Because as soon as you decide what fabrics you want, that narrows down where you can make stuff. Right? Because if you're
just making such a variety of things.
Well, now you have to import fabrics to be able to manage, right? Because like you have to import some things like this.
Yeah.
But then this is probably made in Canada.
This is, well, it's from a Canadian supplier, but it's not made in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah. I was, but then they actually closed down. So then I said, okay, whatever.
Well, and that's the hard thing is like, so people are always like, well, is it made in Canada? I'm like, well, we don't have the sewing techniques for my stuff in Canada.
Yeah. We
can do a bit simpler things, but I would have to then still mill the fabric and import the fabric. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it would just cost like a tremendous amount more money, right? Which is where you're seeing.
That's why my stuff is so expensive. It's made in Canada.
Yeah. Which is awesome, but I feel like it's something that people don't realize is the technicality of what we can make in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you want a t-shirt that's less than $200, you can't make it in Canada. Really? Well, no. I would say like less than $100.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But the studios, like I don't even call them factories. It's like they're smaller, so they're producing less quantities.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, I don't know. There are options.
But like, there's still hand cutting stuff in Canada.
Totally, everything's handmade.
Like my stuff's all cut with lasers. right? Like it goes into a computer computer system to make sure that it's utilizing enough fabric, like as much fabric as possible, whether they have to cut different products on the same sheet of fabric. And it's
probably just like another level. I have been in contact with the factory that makes all the stuff for Smythe. So that potentially would be a good connection because they can make higher quantities, but it's still expensive. I went to their studio in Toronto and saw their space in person, and it's still all hand done.
That's crazy.
But that'll be a good connection in case I need like higher quantities.
And they do great stuff. They make a good looking blazer, but I don't love how their blazers fit.
For
There's
me,
no way I could ever do it.
It's like too preppy for me. And this like I'm too like long armed, I'm too broad, like it's not for me, but it is really nice.
They're beautiful. And the third question is about price point, which because you have to be
expensive.
You have to be expensive because you make in Canada.
I'm thinking for the new collection, the theme is going to be rich witch. Like rich bitch, but rich witch.
That's funny. I love that. The fourth one is what avenue for selling? Stores, wholesale, e-commerce?
Well...
Probably stores.
I really would like to get into wholesale, but really small. Like one small boutique. And that's like that seems like such a low goal, but it's really hard.
But where are you specific to where you want that boutique to be? Probably not.
No.
Because there's a store in Regina called Black, which is really cute.
I think maybe I don't know that one. No, specific. I would say like Canada or the U.S. Probably.
Well, I feel like what I've learned about Canada is we are very much a jeans, Lululemon culture, and
I get it.
And in the U.S., it's a bit different. You get definitely those pockets of people who are a bit more stylish. Like even in Vancouver and Toronto, it's still going to be. That's why my brand did so well, because it's like leggings and blazer. That's slamdo.
It's comfortable.
So you got to find those people that are more experimental.
And
then this one's important because I think definitely a younger generation. What, if any, social commitments are you hoping to make? I feel like a lot of a younger generation thinks that they have to come out of the gates with promises of like planting trees or, making it and it's like it's hard because you can't keep up with those commitments. And so it just says, what, if any, social commitments are you hoping to make? This is not necessary because often you might have a commitment that you've made to making a product a certain way, and then the second you want to scale, that storyline can't maintain itself anymore, and that happened to a
which
brand.
Could be made in Canada. Because that happened to Lululemon. They were made in Canada up until a certain point, and then they could no longer sustain that. And you know what? If that was my problem, I would be thrilled. So.
Well, it's because he closed his factory and went back. He went back overseas, so they kept working with him, but he was back over there.
Interesting.
So. Lululemon's story about that, it's hard because, like, who wouldn't want their stuff to be made in Canada? But, I can count on my one hand the amount of people I know who even know how to use a sewing machine.
Totally.
2 people. So, I know how, but...
I don't think, it's definitely not for everybody. It's just the way that I wanted to make my brand, it made sense. Because I wanted to be, like, a little bit more, like, creative. I like being able to drive to my pattern maker in Calgary and, we're making pieces, we're not making, I don't need to make 100 because I don't know if 100 people are going to wear a croc leather coat or like a Mongolian for a hoodie for $1,000. So it's just a totally different situation. But for me right now where I am, it makes the most sense.
For sure.
Even the States, like it doesn't even really need to be Canada. It's just nicer being close by and
nice
like cheaper to visit
because you like the process of
exactly
and seeing what they're doing and stuff.
So it's like I can go to Toronto or Montreal or Calgary for quite cheap, which is like where everything's being made. So for right now it makes sense.
So what's happening with New York this fall?
We're going to do a fashion show. Isn't that crazy?
That's so fun.
It's during New York Fashion Week. It's not like an official New York Fashion Week thing. It's just
that's lots of different
so it's going to be a small private venue. I think the capacity is like 30 people, and we're going to try and mostly invite buyers if we can, or potentially like other influential people. And we'll have 6 models. It'll just be like a quick little fancy event.
And did you get involved with a group that's running shows in New York, or are you just running your own
so
thing, or you want to invite people?
There's one mainly one guy I'm working for. He has his own PR company, and I've worked with him before to do a photo shoot in New York. So I've met him in person. He's been like super supportive. He calls me all the time to talk about the brand. And then I actually did get a little bit of funding for the company from the Government of Canada, which is not easy to do. It was called the Creative Export Development Grant,
Okay, yeah.
which is one of the few like government funding for creatives.
Yeah. Because they want trade. They want us exporting
exactly.
products. Yeah.
And so for that grant, it was for exporting, and that worked because I do want to get, as you do also, like become established in the United States because it's just such a bigger market. So I already had this connection to New York. We got this funding, so I was like, why don't we do an event in New York for the new collection? And that's kind of how it's happening. Yeah.
Super fun.
It should be fun. And the good part is I'm just hiring everybody else that knows things. So I'm hoping I can just go there and.
Was it a decent amount that they gave you? You don't have to tell me.
Yeah, it was $77,000.
Really? Well, that's freaking good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And non-dilutive, like no. Well, so I didn't have to match it, but I did have to. Like the total project was like $120, so I did have to put in money of my own.
Yeah.
But it could be a little bit, so still really good. Like I'll take it.
Well, that's good. It's good for people to know about that because I think it definitely has to be. We have a lot of brands that are made in Canada that are really, really great export. Like I know a bunch of brands in Edmonton that have been to Japan and been like they'll ship you places. They'll like send you off to go talk about your stuff in different places as well, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So they do all those, like, I think we have got, just, like, look up who your trade commissioners are. They're all about that, yeah.
Yeah, I could do that more, too.
Yeah,
I feel like
in Edmonton, I know Pura went, I know Pura Botanicals, I know she's been over there, and I think it's such a valuable experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they cover. For us, because we get contacted about it all the time, but we are importers, we're not exporters. Like, we are not making our products here.
Yeah, I think that it did need to be made here.
Yeah.
And because we just work with, essentially artisans here.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Which is super awesome. And that's why we wanted to so in terms of, if you were to think about mentorship for you in terms of being a brand, or even just the experience of being a brand owner, I know how lonely it is. I don't know many people going through this battle. And, what kind of mentorship or what kind of resources are you looking for as a designer, would you say?
For me, I think everybody's different, but for me it's sales and marketing. I just, my brain doesn't work that way. I don't want to sell anybody anything. I want to give it to you and have you love it, but I don't want to ask for your money. So, and I don't want to push people to buy. I only made it a month working at Recipient because I was like, you like that or you don't? That's not my problem. Just really bad salesperson.
I would say I'm also, but I'm always talking people out of things. I'm like, you know what, you're just not going to wear that, don't get it. But then when I think it's right, then I'm really good at talking somebody into it.
Yeah. So that's definitely a problem. Also just, establishing wholesale relationships, probably that would be. And then once I get to that point, I'm sure there'll be another stepping stone. Hopefully I get to that point and then it would be like, okay, then I can maybe worry about scaling. But right now I'm not even worried about that. I just want to start really small. But sales and marketing is a huge gap in my knowledge because my background as a neuroscientist did not prepare me for that. So. Well,
where do you think your customer is? If you had to go out and let's just say you had all the money in the world, but you're gonna go find her. Where is she? What is she doing?
I definitely in an
she
urban.
Or they?
Yeah, who knows? I would definitely say an urban environment.
Yeah.
They could be doing anything.
Yeah.
They're probably at the grocery store wearing black.
Do they read books? Do they what does their room look like?
What does their room look like?
This is how deep of a dive. I could tell you the food that my customer is buying.
Yeah, and it's tough because I'm making the brand for me.
Yeah, so
really.
That's fine. What does your room look
what does my room look like?
If you were a New York version of yourself, living in a tiny apartment in New York.
Let's pretend I don't have a baby.
Yeah, let's pretend you don't have a baby. You're in New York. You live in some part of a brownstone or something. So it's small. It's got brick.
Yeah, the aesthetic of their interior space would be a modern, rich vampire.
Yeah.
That would be their interior aesthetic, but still a little minimal.
Yeah.
But potentially a gothic sconce on the wall, or some sneaky skulls, maybe some crystals, but still a kitchen that looks like it could be an architectural digest.
Okay. Yeah. And what is she doing in her spare time? Is she at Pilates?
No.
No.
She wishes she was at Pilates.
She thinks about it, but she's like, I don't have a baby blue Lululemon matching set to wear.
Yeah, she thinks she's gonna go to Pilates, but then she just goes to the bar or the liquor store, or potentially the campus store.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I love creating customer avatars. One of my favorite things to do because it helps you to figure out exactly, and that's where it was easy with SHOPTHEHUNT. It was me. I was the avatar.
Yeah.
I was the person I was selling to. So it was like, if I'm not gonna watch an Instagram ad and spend money, then they probably aren't either.
Yeah.
Right? Like if I need to know why I'm buying something, they probably need to know why they're buying something. And so it became the driving force was like product. I needed to win on product all the time. And we knew exactly who our customer was. And so it became a lot easier to kind of find them.
Well, that's okay. So let's say you have a defined avatar. Like, then the question is, I mean, that can be easy to do, but then it's like, how do you take that and do something helpful for your business with that? Because I feel like there's a lot of, like, I've previously done quite a bit of, like, startup business little courses, and they teach you, to make the startup business things you need to make. And then it's like, okay, so I have all this stuff in a Google Drive sitting there, and it's actually not beneficial at all. Like, I have all these customer profiles, but then it's like, okay, now what do you do with that?
Yeah. So I would figure out who carries Gothic decor, basically. That's where I would start. Like, what are the brands that this person might follow in terms of, like, decor? So maybe it's like...
Not even fashion.
Not even fashion.
Okay.
No, because a lot of times they won't follow fashion, or they might follow a few. So then I'm going to look and see, go to this brand. Let's just say it's like, this lamp is Cartel. Everyone loves these lamps. So it's a brand called Cartel out of Italy. Then I would go to their Instagram and I'm going to look at their followers. And I'm going to look and see who's following them. Yeah. I might find 5 or 7 like women kind of profiles. I'm going to go look at their profile. I'm going to look at what they're posting.
Interesting.
Right? And then maybe it's like, maybe 2 of them are, really looking, maybe they're illustrators. A lot of them maybe they're doing this or they're, because it's a very, very small niche that you're going after.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's like in the investigative process to find what they're doing outside of just dressing themselves. Right? Like, are they, if it's somebody, like if I see, let's just say it's somebody in New York, what's the brand that carries, it's a very Gothic brand. He's got long black hair. Rick Owens. Rick Owens. Would you say it's a similar customer, the Rick Owens? Like, what do you think of Rick Owens? I don't know much about
I
him.
love Rick Owens.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Like, I see a similarity in terms of...
Yeah, he's for sure would be an inspiration.
Yeah, so then I would go to Rick Owens, or I would, if I was ever going to, like, try to market myself to people, it would be to anybody who follows Rick Owens. Right? So then it's just, like, trying to find those connecting things, because Rick Owens has built an incredibly large audience of a very niche customer, which is very hard to do, right? So I would just be like looking through his followers and then looking at their profiles and seeing what they're doing and how they're spending their time, right? And then try to figure out how to find them or market to them using the commonalities that they have.
Yeah. That's the question. It's like, how do you...
It just takes a little bit of like digging. Maybe I'll do some digging. Yeah, it's a little bit of creeping, right? And it's like,
I have no problem creeping.
Yeah. Well, we're building a new avatar for the business, and it's not new where it totally dismisses the old, but because our price point job, we're going after like that really, like the aspiring like working girl. Every time I say working girl, it reminds me of the time my friend said hookers, and I was like, we're not going after hookers.
She's not working the streets.
She's not working the streets, she's working... But, she's like an ambitious... she was like me when I was 21, where I like had my consulting company. All I dreamed of was like flying to London, flying to New York for work, and doing meetings and like that kind of stuff. Now I'm like,
I remember that stage.
Right?
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful like stage of life of just that aspirational.
The world is your
at my fingertips. I'm gonna be like, I want to be like doing meetings.
Oh yeah.
And it's so interesting to see that, like my own brother, because he's never really done all these types of like calls and stuff like that. And he's just like, to see the energy he gets from doing all of the things that like I've been doing since I was 20. I don't want to do any work calls anymore. I don't want to do like onboarding calls with like tech companies and stuff like that. Now I just want to like do this kind of stuff where I'm like, you know, you, me, and Michaela from Next Arena went out for dinner that time, and we're just like talking about how, you know, challenging it is. And I've been in this industry primarily in Edmonton for over 25 years, and I don't know any other designers really that have made it. Everyone's given up, right? And I have a philosophy which is just like, just one more day.
Yeah. I still may give up in the future. Who knows?
Well, and giving up is fine. It's just...
I mean, giving up is not the right word. I think, you never really know where you're going to transition to and how things are going to change.
Well, because you change as a person.
Yeah.
I've changed a lot in 7 years. I'm not the same person who had the energy of starting the company. You know, like I'm way different, or I'm just coming into kind of my, you know, the time of my life where I'm fully accepting who I am and just want to kind of like be a storm chaser and give money away to people.
Literally a storm chaser.
Literally a storm chaser.
Okay. Not like figuratively. It's not like a phrase.
No, like a literal storm chaser, yeah. I spent half of last month in the US.
I think I saw that alone on Instagram. That's wild.
So I have goals of wanting to like, you know, interview storm chasers and follow them around, but also find new brands and mentor people who are just like need the cheat codes.
Two very different things.
Well, and that's where it's hard, because like if you think about who you are as a person, you're trying to produce to a particular audience. I used to be able to have a very clear line of how I was doing that. Now, my interests are so diverse, I don't really have a clear line. Like, I couldn't make a website to tell you what Emily's doing these days. It's like she's all over the place. And it just has to be okay.
Yeah.
You know?
And do these things make money?
I mean, well, Emmy DeVoe makes money, but, well, no, storm chasing costs me money, but I'm hoping it'll make me money.
That's in my brand. It costs me money, but I'm hoping it'll make me money.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm relentless, right? I'm like, for me, it's trying to figure out exactly what that, it's not what is it, or if it's going to happen, it's like, okay, I want to live in the US for 4 months next year, chasing storms and creating videos of storm chasers. So what do I need for that time? Like, it's like that's happening. It's not if
next
or
year,
when.
2026 next year.
Yeah, because the storm season's coming to an end now. So you have to wait. You have to wait for.
That's good. Seasonal, so you can work on your other stuff.
June. Exactly. So we're going to be out of.
Like a TLC show about storm chasers or something.
Yes, so it was on the Discovery Channel.
Okay.
So that's who I went with. I went with Chris Chiddick from the Discovery Channel.
Okay, I mean I don't know the name, but I do remember. Like, I mean, this must have been like 15 years ago or something. A really long time ago. I remember watching that. Yeah.
Right? I watched it too, and now there's no more TV, and I need it, so I'm gonna make it.
Amazing.
It's gonna become a chase storm.
There's no TV shows right now. There's no like.
About storm chasing.
Okay.
No.
Well, there you go.
So I'm just gonna make it. I don't know how to do it, but I'm gonna do it.
Hopefully, there's drama.
Well, that's what I need.
Yeah.
I need the drama.
I know. I need drama.
Like, I can see the storms, and they're incredible, and of course, the adrenaline of that is unreal.
Ooh, and you want like the storms outside to kind of echo the storms happening inside.
Because there is so much storm chaser drama. Like, that's what people don't realize. There's like so much drama.
I want drama and romance.
I mean, I did make out with a guy from London when I was there.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not telling you guys who. You know who you are.
Yeah. That would be cool.
Yeah. So, and I may be going to London. Well, I'm going on Saturday. But I'm not going for this person, but I might see this person.
Oh my god. Why are you going to London?
For a marketing conference.
Okay.
Called MadFest. So, we'll see. And, yeah, so I just want to say thank you for coming and doing this.
Thanks for having me. Thank you for my little grant.
Yeah, I think it's adorable.
And
there'll be a little blog on the site and everything.
I love this initiative so much, like especially because I've written so many grants and I know how hard it is, especially for the creative industry, that I support this so much. And like I said, I would be.
Well, think about how fast, like I said, 20,000 people. That's less than the following of Emmy DeVoe. It's like, and I get that it's $8 a month. You know, Netflix is now $16 a month.
Yeah,
like $8. It's like coffee, right?
Tell me, because I did look online, of course, you're kind of correct me if I'm wrong, you're curating, your Emily approved
Yeah.
pieces,
Basically,
essentially.
I'm shopping all the time, so I may as well.
Me too. I love that. Do you need an interior decor? I feel like I'm really into decor right now.
Let's do decor.
Because
the more value I can give to
Yeah.
people, the more people will sign.
Do a shop online. I think I would be really great. Maybe this is like next job, just shopping for somebody, because I put so much work into like, I don't know, shopping. And right now I'm into restoring furniture, but that's like a totally different thing.
See, but people would love that. And like the thing is, I'm really good at finding things that are, I'm a high-low person.
Okay.
So I like things that are high-end, but I like things that are also quick and easy. Like I found some good stuff on Amazon.
A mix is good, because you can't have everything in your house be from like restoration hardware. There's just no way.
Yeah.
But you can have
like
a
that
mix
lamp. I think was like $1,600, and this was $150.
Yeah.
But you would never know.
I love the mix.
Right? You need the mix to make things work.
Mm-hmm.
And
but I also really like, and maybe this goes back to my brand, is finding also things that are like a mix. Maybe you can have one thing that's like mass produced, but I also like finding unique designers that are almost like artisans and hand making things. Like you can find really cool stuff on Etsy or
well, and that's where Shop the Hunt, like I would love for it to get to where it's less about we're supporting brands, because I'm not great at that. I'm great at like, I can see something online, I know that it'll work for me, whether it's Amazon or something.
Mm-hmm.
But Shop the Hunt should technically turn into exactly what the name is. Like, this is the Canadian Hunt. Like, these are all the different little things that we found, or like brands that you can support.
Is it just Canadian? Is that your goal?
For this one.
Like Canadian based. It doesn't need to be made in Canada. It's just this company.
Canadian based, but I want it to be things that people will actually buy. So the reality is that we do still cater to Amazon consumers. Like, we're still buying shit on Amazon.
I have an Amazon package coming every day. Like,
see? Yeah.
And I think it's crazy that it, like, you buy it and it comes the next day.
I know. It's crazy.
It is crazy. I don't know how I feel. I'm like, have mixed feelings, but I still do it.
I just ordered goggles because I'm swimming 2 kilometers apparently across the lake next month. So.
Wow.
We'll see. Mm-hmm. We'll see if I make it. But, I think when there's $160,000 and the goal is literally that we have to spend it, that's going to take like a team of people. So like, can you imagine so I picture just like a group of people sitting around a table every month, like trying to figure out how to spend $160,000.
That's my dream.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
That's the dream, right?
I'm so good at spending money. You wouldn't even need to pay me because I don't like taking money. I just like spending it.
I was going to have like, I think it would be super cool. The goal is to have shoppers and spenders. So people who help with Shop the Hunt to help find things, because it's not sustainable for me to do it ongoing.
If you want my help,
but then spenders,
I'm shopping every day.
People who have like a spender, like, okay, I found this brand, they need $5,000. I found this brand, they want to go to Peru to source cotton. Okay, they need $5,000.
Oh, yeah. You're fine, yeah.
It doesn't really matter to me what you need the money for, as long as it's like, we just want to be able to tell.
Like, it should be for your business.
Well, no, yes, it has to be for your business. But it could be just like, I want to go and see manufacturers. And it's like, okay, great, give us a list of 10 that you're going to go see, what your objective is. I don't think it should be a long, drawn-out, like, application process. I think it should be, like, let's keep seeding. That's every month.
Sometimes it's months for these, like, government grants. Like, sometimes it's, like, 3 months of, like, full-time work just managing, applying for this grant. And it's, like, you could be doing so many other things to benefit your company at the end of the day. Yeah. And you could still, like, you don't know if these people are even doing what they're saying on the grants anyways. So it's kind of a waste of everybody's time.
It is a waste of time. And it's all locked into, like, bureaucratic structure. And I want to take away that. I just want to take that away from them. I just want to be like, look, we're a private fund, not owned by anybody, and the money is not tied to. It's not a nonprofit. It is actually tied to SHOPTHEHUNT. So it's actually the same company, and so that gives us the ability to give grants and scholarships and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah. Well, I'm going to use my money to pay for the hotel in Calgary this weekend for me and Anton.
Nice.
So it's pretty much actually exactly how much it's going to cost. So thank you.
See? Yeah. There you go. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what's next, and yeah, New York sounds fun. I can't wait to see what happens.
I'm bringing my husband. It'll be our first time away from the baby.
Oh, and how long are you going to be there
Just
for?
3 nights.
Nice. That's not bad.
No.
Yeah. Maybe I'll try to schedule. We're working with a PR company out of LA and New York, and the funny thing about that is, and if they're watching, it's okay, you can hear this. You know, LA is a lot more focused on influencer packaging and stuff like that, and getting in front of people and in TV shows, which I think our stuff is the best for TV shows. New York is very editorial. Like, we're gonna get your stuff in magazines and stuff like that, and I'm like, my brand is just not editorial. We're just not. We are the clothes that the PR people are wearing.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
We're not.
We're just like everyday wear.
Yeah, like we're the ones that we're the jacket that the photographer is wearing when she's shooting the brand that's doing the editorial.
Totally, I love that.
Right,
Yeah.
so like that's how, and that's
Yeah,
what we have to explain to a PR person. Is like, I had this call with the 2 ladies who own the company. I was like, you are my customers.
Okay, so you did hire a PR company.
Yeah.
That PR company I hired was the worst. One of like the top 3 things I regret in my life. Those such a waste.
Ugh,
Yeah.
I've had a lot of not great experiences with Canadian PR. And
She was New York based. ASB
Yeah.
PR company.
So
Really bad.
I am excited to. Yeah, I'm like, is this the company I was with? No.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Yeah. These guys have like 70 employees, two
big, yeah.
offices, so they're quite big. I'm hoping. I mean, you're sinking money into the unknown with PR. Because often they just want retainer and they can't guarantee anything.
Yeah, that's what I did, and then I got no results.
Yeah.
So I may as well have like flushed the money down the toilet.
Yeah.
Money I didn't have.
Well, and that's where me knowing our customer is the most important thing, because I know we're not editorial. What I want us to be, sure, I think that would be super cool if my jacket was in Vogue magazine, but at the same time, that's more of an ego play than it is a money-making play.
I agree.
Because, like, when was the last time I even looked at a Vogue magazine? Like, not.
Yeah.
Like,
I will, like, one of the ways that I find brands is I do look at what celebrities are wearing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, anytime I've done any sort of influencer marketing, I haven't seen any sort of return, because I think they're just, like, oversaturated with, like, how much money are these people making? They do, like, 10 stories a day. Just like unboxing stuff, so you just get like lost in the shuffle.
Well, you should help Shop the Hunt find more Canadian brands. That would
I would
be
love
helpful.
nothing more. I think
That'd be really helpful.
Yeah, I mean for clothing, I have
anything, clothing,
anything.
accessories. Let's do homewares. Let's do everything.
Yeah,
you know, because I think
right now,
if the more money we can give to Canadian brands, the more money we can spend on Canadian brands, the more it just helps the Canadian ecosystem. And we're going to have a lot of empty shopping malls if we do not build some new brands. Yeah. When you go to the States, the shopping malls are not empty like ours. They're not like that. They're busy, they're bustling, they've got lots of different stores. But when you come here, it's like every second, third space is like a temporary retailer.
Or it's just a huge retailer that, like, of course they can afford it because it's like, you know, Sephora or whatever.
Exactly. But now we have like a lot of vacancies. It's only going to get worse, and so we just have a lot of work that we need to do, and retail is one of the most important driving factors for the economy.
Totally.
People spending money.
Yeah.
So if we can take it away from Amazon.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, the problem is that every product that I'm buying on Amazon, I have found the suppliers for it. But I can't get into that, right? Like, I'd much rather buy the jacket directly from the supplier rather than the Amazon middleman. But we can only stock so many products.
Yeah.
So
you're not stocking the products from
No.
China, right? It's just links.
No, but I could, and that's the problem.
Right.
That gets into my head where I'm like, oh man, they can get it for $67 on Amazon. I could buy it directly from the supplier and charge literally the landed cost of it.
Yeah.
Which is probably $22, you know, and as long as they're paying a membership, then they get access. But then you're dealing with inventory, which with SHOPTHEHUNT we have enough of that.
Yeah.
So that's always been the challenge.
We can chat more about shopping because I'm doing it all day anyway. And by all day I mean when the baby's napping, never in front of him.
Well, I'm gonna turn this off now.
Yeah.
Probably gonna put this on YouTube. This is the name of her brand. I thought it was convenient to wear this so that you.
Yes, thank you, Galleria Dela. This is also my brand,
Yeah.
and the skull ring, and my leather pants, and
Yeah.
another fur bag over there.
So definitely, and if you want to go like real quick support, just go order this hat. I don't know how many you have in stock, but let's sell it out.
Yeah,
You know, that's fun. I like a good
it's
challenge.
the most affordable item I make.
It-
It's made in Vancouver, the only hat
It's made
factory in Canada.
the only hat.
I think so, yeah.
This is such a sad. Like we should be doing way better as a country, but we're gonna work on it. We're gonna take over the fashion industry.